Welcome back to What's Haunting the Hearst. So let's talk about something that absolutely terrifies millions of people around the world: clowns. Now, I know that some of you are thinking they're just people in makeup and funny costumes, right? But there's something deeper, something that taps into a primal fear that's hard to explain. And in 2016, that fear became very, very real. Let me take you back to that year. It started, innocuously enough, in August in South Carolina. People started reporting sightings of clowns in the woods, creepy clowns, just standing there, watching. Some reports claimed these clowns were trying to lure children into the forest. At first, it seemed like an isolated incident, maybe a prank, maybe nothing at all. But then it spread. Within weeks, clown sightings were being reported across the United States: Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, Wisconsin. Then it jumped overseas: the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada. Social media absolutely exploded with reports, videos, and photos. People were genuinely afraid to go outside after dark. Schools went into lockdown. Police departments were flooded with calls. And here's the thing that made it so disturbing: most of these sightings, they were never explained. Sure, some turned out to be hoaxes. Teenagers looking for attention, YouTubers trying to go viral. But many of them, no one was ever caught. No one was ever identified. Just reports of clowns appearing and then vanishing. Now, this wasn't just mass hysteria, there were real incidents. In September 2016, a teenager in Connecticut was arrested for dressing as a clown and chasing people with a knife. In Pennsylvania, a man in a clown mask was arrested for allegedly trying to kidnap a child. And in France, a man dressed as a clown was beaten by a group of people who thought he was part of the phenomenon. This was serious. People were getting hurt. Communities were terrified. By October, right before Halloween, it had reached a fever pitch. Major retailers pulled clown costumes from their shelves. Professional clowns, the ones who perform at birthday parties and events, reported that their bookings had completely dried up. The World Clown Association actually had to release a statement trying to distance themselves from what was happening. McDonald's even limited appearances by Ronald McDonald during this time. And then, almost as quickly as it started, it faded away. By November, the sightings had dropped off dramatically. Was it because people lost interest? Because the novelty wore off? Or because whoever or whatever was behind it simply stopped? We still don't really know. But here's what makes this even more unsettling. This wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Back in the 1980s, there were similar reports in Boston. Children claimed they were being approached by clowns in vans. Police investigated but found nothing conclusive. It happened again in Chicago. In 1991, phantom clown sightings terrorized communities. Again, very few explanation, very few arrests. So why clowns? What is it about them that triggers such a deep fear? Psychologists have actually studied this. The fear of clowns is called coulrophobia, and it's more common than you might think. Part of it comes from something called the uncanny valley. Clowns have human features, but they're distorted. The makeup, the exaggerated expressions, the unnatural movements. Our brains recognize them as human, but something's off. Something's not quite right. That creates a sense of unease, even dread. Then there's the element of disguise. When someone is wearing that much makeup, you can't read their real emotions. Are they smiling because they're happy, or because they're hiding something sinister? You can't tell. And that uncertainty is terrifying. Let's not forget the cultural impact. Stephen King's It introduced us to Pennywise, one of the most terrifying villains in horror history. John Wayne Gacy, one of the most notorious serial killers, performed as Pogo the Clown. These associations have seeped into our collective consciousness. Clowns aren't just entertainers anymore, they're symbols of hidden danger. During the 2016 phenomenon, law enforcement took it very seriously. The FBI actually released a bulletin about the clown sightings. They acknowledged that while many were hoaxes, some incidents posed legitimate threats. Police departments across the country increased patrols, especially near schools. Some states even passed laws making it illegal to wear clown costumes in public during certain times. And the impact on social media was massive. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, they were flooded with clown-related content. Hashtags like Killer Clown and clown sightings were trending for weeks. Some people used it to spread fear. Others used it to make jokes. But the line between reality and fiction became completely blurred. You had people posting fake sighting videos that got millions of views. You had news outlets struggling to separate legitimate reports from internet pranks. And you had communities genuinely terrified, not knowing what to believe. Looking back now, it's easy to dismiss it as mass hysteria. But if you were living through it, if your kids were afraid to go to school, if you saw reports in your own town, it didn't feel like a joke. It felt very real. The 2016 clown phenomenon taught us something important about the modern world. How quickly fear can spread, how social media can amplify panic, and how something that seems ridiculous on the surface can tap into very real, very primal anxieties. So what was really happening in 2016? Was it a coordinated effort by pranksters across the world? Was it copycats feeding off each other's actions? Or was there something more to it? The truth is, we'll probably never know the full story. What we do know is that it revealed something about us, about our fears, about what keeps us up at night, and about how thin the line is between entertainment and terror. Clowns were meant to make us laugh, to bring joy, especially to children. But somewhere along the way, they became something else entirely. They became the thing lurking in the shadows, the smile that hides a threat, the laughter that sounds just a little too wrong. And that's what's truly haunting about the killer clown phenomenon. It took something innocent and twisted it completely into nightmares. It reminded us that sometimes the scariest things aren't monsters or ghosts. Sometimes they're the things that are supposed to make us feel safe and happy. When those things turn dark, that's when real fear sets in. So the next time you see a clown at a circus or a birthday party, pay attention to what you feel. Is it joy or is it something else? Something uneasy creeping up your spine? Because after 2016, none of us can look at clowns quite the same way again, and maybe that's exactly what was haunting us all along. Thank you for joining us again for this special video of What's Haunting the Hearst. Please remember to like and subscribe, and catch us on our next video. Thank you.